There are a lot of companies within the video game industry going through layoffs right now. One of the most notable I had to talk about just a few days ago was with Splitgate 2. After the Make FPS Great Again hack controversy, they decided to backtrack and apologize to sensitive snowflakes on social media. So basically, everybody decided to stop supporting them. And now the Mindseye developer builder Rocket Boy has begun layoffs following the Catastrophic games launch. But to top that off, they also have had to come out and deny claims it had been using bots for positive reviews. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this is a game that needed more time to cook. If they had maybe developed this for another year or another 2 years, it could have potentially come out and been a good experience, though everything that I have seen with this game has been abysmal. I personally didn't play it, but I did watch a full playthrough, and I was mind blown with the state of the game because there's no way they didn't know it was this bad. It's like with Cyberpunk or even with No Man's Sky, you can't be developing a game for years and then get to being, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks or a month away from release and go, yeah, this game has absolutely no technical problems. And then it comes out and it is riddled with technical issues, or it has virtually no content. Like, you clearly know the state of your game before release, and they clearly knew that this was going to be a catastrophic launch, and it was. And well, now they are going through layoffs, and sure, part of this is the fault of the higher ups at the company. They definitely shouldn't have pushed these developers into like releasing this product buggy and broken. But on the flip side, just everything with this game was super generic and super underwhelming. So they didn't even create like amazing content like with Cyberpunk. It was really cool. It had a good like skeleton. It just was poorly executed. And of course, they put years of work and effort into it and it turned out good, but there's no way that's going to happen with Mindseye. I mean, there's virtually nobody playing it and it's going through mass refunds. I mean, in game right now on Steam, it's 79 players online. 130 was the 24-hour peak, and the all-time peak at launch was 3,302. There's no way this is getting the Cyberpunk treatment at this freaking point. This says Mindseye developer Builder Rocket Boy begins layoffs following the Catastrophic games launch. Yeah, it is a terrible experience all around. It should have never released. It says Builder Rocket Boy, the devs behind the recently released Mindseye, have reportedly begun a redundancy process following the game's disastrous launch, and that's according to IGN sources who say that the studio could see over 100 employees affected during the redundancy process. Although the studio has not provided an exact figure, this number has been speculated upon due to a 45-day consultation process that begins on June 23rd, and according to UK law, the consultation progress is triggered when an employer intends to lay off at least 100 employees, says IGN, and they currently have around 500, which is crazy to think about given the state of this game. Now, of course, Mindseye released on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC on June 10th. It became the worst rated game in 2025. On Metacritic, it has secured a critic score of 43, and the user score sits at a 2.4 out of 10, and social media was flooded with videos and screenshots of the game's bad performance and general bug issues, painting the game as a pre-alpha. And yeah, it definitely seemed like that was the case, but weeks before release, they were already damage controlling because we had the CEO coming out and saying, oh, we're being botted right now. There's so many bots that are flooding our social media, that are negatively ratioing our posts and videos, which I had done a video on when he made that claim. I couldn't find anything that pointed to that. I couldn't find any videos that were uploaded by IGNs or official accounts that were being negatively ratioed, and I didn't see any of their posts on X being ratioed, so I don't know where that claim came from. But funny enough, even though they were accusing people of using bots, well, the tables turned because they have been accused of using bots. The Mindseye had a rough launch, and unlike 2077, it doesn't look like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and things continue to go from bad to worse for the Build a Rocket Boy title, as the studio has now been forced to address accusations that it had been using bots to leave positive reviews across social media. I mean, we know that they paid influencers a boatload of money to review this game. They had a big PR campaign, even though they did end up canceling it. So, is it that far-fetched? Outside Xbox's Mike Channel appears to have been among the first to flag the positive comments, each of them identical and filled with glowing praise for Mindseye. I'm loving the story, simulation theory, ancient AI, only had a few bugs, but other than that, I've been lucky. Reminds me of how Cyberpunk launched. Read 2 comments that are exactly the same, word for word. 2 identical comments might not be enough to convince some people, but it doesn't stop there. GLHF's Kirk, formerly of The Gamer, replied to Channel's post questioning whether bots are out there leaving positive reviews for Mindseye with even more damning evidence. Search for the words Mindseye and Goosebumps on Twitter, and you'll be met with a list of posts that all say more or less the same thing. So it seems very suspicious, and Build a Rocket Boy actually responded saying, taking a minute to set the record straight and refute this and other false claims that are swirling. BARB, or Barb, has never used any bots, nor will we. We're pumped to see players loving the latest Mindseye update, and well, I don't think anybody that is actually a human being is really loving the new update, given it has nobody playing it, at least on Steam. Maybe the console numbers are great, I just highly doubt that. And yeah, the reviews for this game are just terrible. Now, of course, I do not trust critics, but even the users are saying it's god-awful. And looking at the comment section of this post that talks about the layoffs, people are saying, we knew that this was going to happen. Sadly, this was coming since they started showing the game. They should have just delayed it. I feel like if they had delayed it by a year or 2, which is an insane delay, but if they had delayed it that long, they probably could have fixed it up so it would have at least been a generic experience instead of a generic and broken experience. Easy to call. It was seen by a mile away that the game wasn't ready for launch. I don't understand game devs sometime. Now, we don't know exactly what the budget was for this game, but it at least was $110 million because as of January 2024, they had raised $110 million. Build a Rocket Boy, a Scotland-headquartered game development company founded by one of the former lead developers behind the Grand Theft Auto franchise, today announced it had raised $110 million in a Series D round of funding. So this game at least had $110 million put into it, if not more, because this studio was founded in 2016. I don't think that they actually started developing this game until at least 2019, because that's when he actually finally reached the confidential settlement with Rockstar. But at the end of the day, like, we don't have any other information on a timeline except for this game was probably started in 2019, or that's when their plan started. Though I don't think that they genuinely started developing this game, in my opinion, until January 2024, so it was only in development for a year and a half, because that is when we know they had secured funding. So it's a clusterfuck all around, and either way, this game came out and it was a disaster, and I don't think Build a Rocket Boy is ever going to be able to put anything out again. They really thought that they were going to be able to challenge Rockstar and make a boatload of money, and clearly that didn't happen. So I'll be keeping my eye on this situation. While I don't revel in the fact that people are losing their jobs, if you suck at your job, you really don't deserve to have it. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.